Hello, everyone. This is Marie Blue Angel, and I am back with Keyframes. It's been a while since I had to leave for a bit. I've had some good life things happening, so that's exciting. But I only had the game on a different computer, which I'm on now, and I didn't know how I should transfer it over to the other computer that I can use. So anyways, what that means is that I haven't been able to play Keyframes and some other games, not because I don't like those games, but because I just haven't figured out that logistical point. But nonetheless, I am back, and hopefully, I'll be able to make lots of progress with Keyframes and hopefully finish before I have to leave this current computer. Um, because otherwise, it'll be a hot minute until I can figure out how to get back to the same starting point in Keyframes on the other device. But, anyways, we don't want to hear more about that. We want to know what's happening at the end of this festival at the school that I remember we were doing last time, which was very fun. So let's just get into it. You trailed away from the small platform with one last wave for your RA, and then you were out in the emptier part of the lawn that led toward the festival's platoon of food trucks. Ooh, I'm hungry. It's been a while. How about we grab something to eat? There was a chorus of assent, and so you hurried over to the back end of the green. Here, overlapping aromas of savory and sweet vied for attention, undercut with a current of greasy fried goodness. Ugh, all of that sounds really good. Thanks to the SGB, you were eating for free. The boys split off immediately as their taste led them to different trucks. You and Cameron stuck together, wandering in a different direction. If only this much variety was available at all the events you attended. But there surely wasn't enough budget for that. You'd have to enjoy the feast while it lasted. There you are. Are you still waiting for food? What did Elio get? Hey, yeah. Should be out soon. What'd you get? Says Cameron. Oh, so great to see the characters after a bit. Luckily, every vendor here worked fast. By the time you and Cam had each gotten your meals, Elio, Percy, and Jamie had appeared with their own food and drink in hand. Finding seats was a little trickier. Eventually, you found a clear patch of grass and you settled in. Okay, I want to check everything. Percy and Jamie also here. Elio, tell me you didn't get 5 of the same taco. There were 6. I ate one while I was walking. Trade you? Yeah, just. Here, take a bite out of this side. Jamie, I have to know which truck you went to. Why? Because you're eating an entire wedge of lettuce. It has dressing on it. Do you want some of my fries? Stomachs growled collectively, and you all quickly tucked in. I mean, after all the games they had played, I would be so hungry. Thanks to the warm sunlight, anyone who had been in the dunk tank dried fairly quickly, at least to the point they'd no longer be leaving puddles where they walked. Uh-huh. I mean, hopefully it is a nice warm day, otherwise it would be miserable walking around like that after doing the drop tank. I mean, I got the hype about the obstacle course, but seriously, how'd they get authorization for all the moving parts? That's what I was thinking. I suppose that is what the waivers are there for. Still, the construction was quite impressive. I can't believe you two got me like that right before the end. Was it not well deserved? I believed it was, in fact, deserved. And we got such a dramatic confrontation during the jousting game. Cam, are you sure you didn't rehearse that before you got here? I'd never. I was just shouting whatever I could think of. And that's on good improv. Like Inferno Demon Blaze. Please forget I yelled that. I'm embarrassed. You know, we probably should have teamed up as fast as Marie and Cameron did. Yeah, but once we caught on, I think we fought back pretty well. Just not well enough. Heh, you know it. The only thing that could break us apart is, ourselves? Fate, I guess. Or the fact that only one of us could be the ultimate winner. I like that we get a little bit of a recap of some of the activities we did there, especially with the obstacle course. A stack of paper trays, napkins, and wrappers rose in her midst, reaching its maximum height right as the music overhead died down. Hello, hello. How are we doing, WMU? I would assume it's Raina. Heads turned, yours included. Over in the distance, a familiar figure stood in front of a microphone on a small stage. Is that? Of course it would be Raina. I hope you're all having fun. We all worked hard to set up the venue, so please enjoy it to the fullest. For those of you still raring to go, we'll be open all the way till sunset. But before I let you get back into it, get your tickets out, everyone. It's time to announce our raffle winners. Wow, how can I not read? It is. Come on, come on. Okay. Ilya bolted to his feet, and the rest of you followed, gathering up the last of your meals and running after him. Like hell, any of you were about to miss this. I forgot what the prize is. He made it to the edge of the crowd right as a giant, clear plastic ball was unveiled, filled with paper tickets. I'll be drawing tickets one at a time. If you get a match, let us all know. Be loud and be proud. Then you'll head over to the SG booth to pick out a prize. Just look for the banner. Now, are we ready? A corresponding crescendo of whoops and yells rippled across the green. You quickly dug into your pockets for your own ticket, holding it up with your thumb, underlining the numbers printed on it. And our first prize will go to... Dun, 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 dun. As the first strings of numbers was read, you sat back with a sigh. It wasn't the end of the world. Not yet. There'd be more drawings. Any luck? Believe me, you would have known if I won. Ilya only groaned a little, watching as the winner ran off toward the prize tent. That's going to be us soon. Yeah? I feel it in my gut. Okay, I believe it too. Enjoy your spoils. Let's get our next winner over there, too. Raina's voice was an effortless siren's call, and the crowd kept quiet as she pulled the next lucky ticket. This time, when she was done reading, nobody stepped forward. Guess they left. Bummer. We move on, folks. And she dunked her hand into the ball once more. The suspense was all but killing Elio, who hunched over a pair of tickets with grim focus. Percy was lying back in the grass, barely paying attention, either because he trusted Elio or because he'd sunken into a food coma. It could be both. It was hard to tell. On your other side, Cameron glanced anxiously at their ticket every few seconds. Jamie was more discreet, managing to wait a few minutes between peeks at his own ticket. All right, give it up for... Like clockwork, everyone ducked their heads to read along. You smothered a little chuckle. Even the most astute of you couldn't resist double-checking when it came to it. Then your eyes and brain both stopped working as you blinked at your ticket. It matched. Oh, shit. Anyone out there? Who's our winner this time? Oh, yes, we got it. Oh, it's me. I have the ticket. Damn, okay. Hell yeah, Marie. I can't really yell right now. I never can yell. Oh, my goodness. A few hollers and cheers was all it took to alert Raina, even from this far. You had a ways to go to the prize tent, and as she waved you onward with a smile, Elio and Cam turned with wide grins. You did it! You actually did it! Did... what? It was random chance. I was gonna say the same thing. I mean, it's awesome, though. Exactly. It's the victory of victories. Okay. It doesn't look we can come with you, so meet up later? Yeah, of course. With that, you hurried by the stage, grinning sheepishly as Raina shot you a fond, exasperated smile. The SGB booth was a short walk beyond, and who was waiting for you there? Why, there was only one answer, our bestie. Deja! Well, I can't say I'm surprised. We already know you have the weirdest luck. Deja gave a rare, unfiltered chuckle, shaking her head as she stood with one hand on a cocked tip. You knew your win had been purely by chance. Oh. Let's see. I don't think... Give me a second. Okay. Hopefully we don't have the same problem, but sorry for the visual difficulties with the video. I don't know what happened. I think OBS was acting up because it was fine after I restarted it a little bit. But anyways, we're questioning if Deja has maybe put in our number more than once, but I wouldn't think so. She snorted, not at all fazed as she shook her head once more. Trust me, Raina did not put me anywhere near the raffle itself. No, I mean, the scavenger hunt was one thing, I'm just in charge of prizes. But is anyone complaining? With a sweep of one arm, she gestured to the vast array of objects packed into the tent behind her. With the other hand, she gave you a pamphlet containing a compact list of the entire inventory. She hadn't been kidding when she said she pulled every string she could find. There were gift cards and vouchers, of course, but there were plenty of material prizes, too, suitable for a wide range of ages and interests. Good job, Deja. That's really cool. Anything catching your eye, or do you need a second? You wouldn't rush your beloved roommate, would you? Not unless the line starts. But you're fine for now. I do consultations for a small fee, of course. She winked, and you snorted as you flipped the page. The prize is yours to take, but would it be yours to keep? There is nothing stopping you from gifting whatever you chose to someone else. It was your win. You were looking for something to take home. I want to take something home. I'd be so excited to take something. But also, I wouldn't even know what to get anyone else. So we're going to take something for ourselves. As you searched the prize catalog, you decided to take spices, herbs, and infused sugars from a specialty shop downtown. Cool. Street sign in Rin Mayer's colors. A get 10 for the price of 1 voucher for the local bookstore. That's pretty good. 3 sets of his and her mugs. 6 in total. Obviously, that's what we're going to get. An open world video game. A backyard telescope complete with tripod. A food tour for 2. That also sounds fun. I'm going to pick this one, but I'm really tempted by the 10 for the price of 1 voucher. So the food tour. Okay, we got the 2 coupons. Just keep in mind this is a set date. Will you be in town? I should be. I'm sticking around all summer. And who's going with you? I'm still figuring that part out. Well, I'll keep my fingers crossed. Okay, you're all set. I'll see you later, yeah? Thanks, Deja. A win was a win, but a win from a raffle had an extra sprinkle of magic to it. You couldn't help but puff your chest out, knowing that luck had favored you a bit more today. You hurried back to the others, grinning as Cam lifted a hand to wave. I'm back. Are you guys okay? Right as rain. Just give us a moment. The boys were sprawled dramatically in the grass, lying in the wake of the emotional carnage that was, for them, an unsuccessful rattle. Elio stuck a thumbs up into the air, his face hidden by his hat. Hi, Marie. Congrats again. You should have seen him, You should have seen him. Raina read out the last ticket, and they all collapsed like ragdolls. Yes, pity, whoa, etc. Jamie was the first to climb to his feet. The others followed suit, grumbling good-naturedly. But Elio shook himself back to his usual sunny self soon enough. So, what'd you get? You hefted your prize for all to see, and there was a round of appreciative oohs and ahs. That's some insane value. Look at all the restaurants on there. Oh, that's true. I didn't think about that. Oh boy, good luck with the food coma after. Okay, what are we up to now? Not to be a spoil sport, but it's been a long day already. Admittedly, the festivities had slowed down since the raffle ended. You weren't that far out from sunset, and your friends were tuning into the mellow atmosphere that had settled over the green. It's cool. You want to split up? Head out for the day? It's about that time. Yeah. Glad we got a chance to hang out. Slowly, you picked your way back toward the entrance of the festival. The fairground and attractions were all still operating, and music still played from the speakers overhead. I hope this means that with the food tour that we got, that we can still share it with someone, because it does say it's a food tour for 2, so I think it makes sense. Still, the tents were burnished with the late afternoon light, and the air was steadily cooling. You drew in a breath and sighed softly, enjoying the relative calm. This was fun. Thanks for coming out, everyone. You make us sound like we didn't want to come. Not to mention Deja would have hunted us down if we hadn't. You lingered at the end of the green for a few minutes longer, chatting idly, until a natural break in the conversation occurred, and the boys excused themselves to head home. All right, I'm parked that way. I'll let you know when I'm home. Okay, bye, Cameron. Cameron was next. With a toss of two-tone bangs, they scampered off toward the parking lot, waving cheerfully behind them for a few more paces before they disappeared into the distance. Before you left, you went to find Deja, just so she'd know you were heading out. You had half a mind to stick around and help get a head start on cleanup, an idea which was thoroughly dashed once your roommate flapped you insistently away. In her words, you were meant to enjoy the festival to the fullest, and that meant you weren't going to be donating any of your time or energy today. So all that was left was to go home. Your room was a familiar haven after such a full day. You fell backward into your bed, stretching with a soft groan. The temptation to doze off was strong, and I accidentally clicked before I could read the rest of that. Oh gosh. Oh my. Hello? As you replayed the events that had led you to the prize booth with a little smile in your mouth, but the residual buzz of excitement from the raffle kept you from napping right away. Oh. As you replayed the events that had led you to the prize booth with a little smile in your mouth, a buzz in your pocket alerted you that the group chat was kicking back to life. By the time you tugged your phone free, a flurry of text had already filled the screen. At the top of the chat was a picture from Elio, a snapshot of you sitting in the dunk tank suspended over the water. This closes the splash zone. Well, not quite, but I forgot to take a pic in round 2. Don't even worry about it. I've got a bruise on my forehead from when I fell in. That's plenty of a reminder. Oh my god, are you okay? Oh, I'm totally fine. I got me a box of popsicles, one for eating. One for icing. Lol. I've had much worse injuries from dance, seriously. I think I leaned forward too much. Okay, but don't sue us, please. That sounded like user error. That's what the liability forms are for, right? Yes. Actually... Cameron, stop typing. Okay. This was easily the most active the group chat had ever been. Tired as you were, you kept your eyes glued to your phone, muffling the occasional laugh as typos, emojis, and inside jokes rolled up the screen. There was something about texting right after a hang that locked the emotions and experiences of your day in, helping the memory crystallize in a way that kept the original luster. Maybe the others felt the same. And of course, it wouldn't do to ignore the reason you'd had so much fun in the first place. Right on cue, a knock at your door pulled you back to the real world, and Deja peeked into your room. Hey, you. What's that big smile for? You lifted your phone by way of answer, and she chuckled softly. It's still going. Still going. But, hey, Dee. She tilted her head, raising an eyebrow as you got to your feet. Thanks for today. I think everyone really had fun. She blinked before her expression had softened, and she beckoned you over. As soon as you got close enough, she reached to flick you gently on the forehead. What was that for? For being sweet. It was a fun event to organize, so don't worry about that. Yeah, I know you lost sleep over this, but I could tell you were enjoying the challenge. And before you even try, you're not making dinner tonight. I'll order us something. Ah, and now I'm gonna pinch your cheeks. Ah, hey. Cute. Okay, next day. Reply back. The shapes are very fun. Cameron, stop typing. Is this squirrel? Cat. Sure. It's modern art, Deja. You wouldn't understand. Yeah, you're right. I don't understand, Lamau. Oh, cute squirrel, that's what I thought, Elio. Maybe you could use some work. No, it's perfect already, dog. Working hard or hardly working, Jamie? And how's exam prep going, Percy? Ow, why don't you just kick me instead? Come on, we've been studying at least a little. I guess we're bored. We're just joust house. We do need to study more. Jamie's right, we do need to study more. Don't make me the bearer of bad news. You brought it up, though. Okay. When did you turn into such a Deja? That's so rude. Okay. I can't really summarize all this very well because it's just going, so please just read. Oh. Okay, so I guess we're gonna go study, I would assume. Let's just start the event. Click, 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 click. Deja, you're going to break your pen if you keep doing that. Click. Clack. It was very expensive, thanks. And with that, the onslaught on your waning attention span ended. Deja set her pen down alongside all its well-used brethren. By now the table was covered by endless papers, plans, textbooks, and notes, though there was, of course, still room for Deja's stationery. It's been hours since you arrived at the study room. This level of mess is only to be expected, and you had little doubts any of the students elsewhere in the library had it any different. After all, it was late. Anyone who was still here was seriously cramming. And honestly, you got it. It hadn't really hit you that the semester was ending until there wasn't any time left to think about it. You were floundering at the last minute, trying to pull everything into your head, and thankfully, you had what you needed to scrape it all together. And at least with Cam around to check your work, you'd gotten through most of your revisions tonight. You just weren't sure if you'd get to the rest. Your vision was starting to swim, and you were struggling to pick apart the complicated legal terms that you still had yet to fully memorize. The second hand ticked on, and Deja punctuated the hour, 1 a.m., with a final sigh. Okay, final stretch. We don't have much time left in here, and so we should. Thud. What the hell are they doing in there? Deja's voice veered toward indignance, and Cameron cast a sideways glance at the wall, unconsciously flickering a flashcard with one hand. Mr. Gorbachev's tearing it down, I guess? Honestly, we invited them so that they could study, and then they did Percy, Elio, and Jamie things instead? Well, when you put it that way, I suppose I could just be glad they're not halfway across campus looking for food. Like last time. It had originally been 6 of you in the study room until a certain troublemaking trio had been kicked out for being too distracting. A third impact thudded against the wall, and Deja stood. Striding over, she knocked sharply on the whiteboard, 4 percussive raps, after which the commotion next door went abruptly quiet. After a beat, a muffled voice offered a meek apology. Elio, it sounded like. Honestly, I still can't believe Quinn offered for them to join her study room. Well, Elio did find her purse earlier. It is a happy coincidence, isn't it? It's a good thing he did. I literally cannot imagine her without it. Deja sighed, returning to her seat with a wry smile. Quinn was a member of the SGB, and according to Deja, her exuberance was a formidable thing to behold. She texted me about 10 times in a row when she lost it. Then she texted me another full essay about how I could ignore all of her messages since she had it back. That's some serious luck on Elio's part. She left a couple of hours ago, didn't she? So they basically had a free study room to themselves ever since. After another thud, Deja sighed, lifting her glasses to peer at the clock mounted on the wall. All right, I don't think we're getting anything else done. We might as well call it a night unless anyone else has any objections. None, Your Honor. Tears formed at the corners of their eyes as Cameron yawned again. Papers and notes shuffled together, pens clicked as they were tossed into bags, and bit by bit the 3 of you cleaned up. Deja was next to yawn. It is 1 a.m. after all, and it was but a matter of time before you took your turn. You were a morning person, through and through, and now you were exhausted. It was pretty difficult to stay up late, and you usually crashed earlier than Deja. Nights like these were rough, and not for the first time. You wondered what it was like to be a night owl instead of an early bird. So, are we... Heading back now?
You staying over tonight? You staying over tonight, Cameron? Marie cleaned up the couch last weekend, so we should be good to go.
Yeah.
Their hands stalled for a moment before they clasped their book bag shut. The silence hung in the air for a beat as they considered their words. Right as you and Deja were finished packing your things, Cameron raised their head again with a waggle of their eyebrows.
Before we head back, is anyone maybe a little hungry? When I say extra, you say fries. Extra fries?
All right. Extra fries first, then.
I was going for I'm sleepy, but I want fries moment. Shrugging her bag over her shoulder, Deja made for the door.
I think we definitely deserve a treat after...
Thud.
After all our hard work. You don't mind driving this late, do you?
But of course I will drive, my lady. And my queen, what say you?
Okay. I suppose since I invited them to begin with, I'll go let the boys know we're heading out for the night. Might as well remind them we're in a library, and while I'm at it...
Why don't we invite them?
They were losing steam over there anyway, just like you had. The car had plenty of space for 3 more people.
Why didn't I think of that? Yeah, let's do it.
Oh, sure, if you're both on board.
I wanted her to sound more enthusiastic, but that's not what it sounded like. But she's enthusiastic about it.
In the hall, Cam bounced up to the neighboring room's door, though their enthusiasm visibly flagged as they lifted a hand to knock. You saw some of their usual shyness coming back, but you hoped that they were comfortable enough with the boys at this point to be a little brave. After steeling their nerves, they confidently knocked. The jittery energy instead transplanted itself to their feet, and you watched as they bobbed back and forth on their heels. There was no movement on the other side of the frosted window, and Elio appeared at the door. Or there was movement, rather. So, that's good. I am plugging in my computer. Peeking through with a grin as he perched a hand on his hip. I wonder what kind of thing he'll say, to be honest.
Okay. Hey, what's up, Cameron?
From behind him, Percy barely suppressed a giggle, and Jamie muttered something faintly in his light musical timbre. They weren't visible, but you could hear the clatter of a few binders being hastily pushed back and forth.
Do you 3 want to come with us to get food? The library's closing soon, so we are about to head out. I've got room in my car if you want to join. Seriously? Awesome. Yeah, we're totally down. Yeah, awesome. You can just come down when you're ready. We'll wait for you.
Elio disappeared back into the room, presumably to herd his boys into collecting their things. Wheeling around, Cameron rejoined you and Deja with a small, nervous smile. They lifted a tentative thumbs up, which each of you returned with varying enthusiasm. Bolstered, they let a little peppiness back into their step, satisfied with how they handled the invitation. But before you could get very far, the door opened again, and Elio called after the 3 of you in a hushed whisper.
Wait, where are we meeting you guys?
In the parking lot out front at Cameron's car. SUV.
Oh.
In the parking lot out front at Cameron's car. SUV. It's gray on the outside and has a dent in the rear bumper.
We could text you if that helps. Got it. See you guys in a bit.
Shh. Elio flinched back sheepishly before popping a silent thumbs up and retreating once more. The 3 of you hustled out, mindful not to draw the ire of any nearby students. Down in the parking lot, the 3 of you idled inside the beloved, trusty, time-tested Camobile, name still pending, because Cameron kept changing their mind on whether it was adequately cool.
Rock, paper, scissors, but Deja can sit in the front.
Camobile kind of rolls off the tongue, but I like El Camarón. It's the original.
Was there something wrong with calling it El Camarón? Not technically. I mean, it's shrimp. We named my SUV Shrimp.
Yes, but that's because it sounds very much like your name, and it makes us laugh.
We could rotate names, like, what if we called it Deja? If I named it after you, Marie,
It'd be like you're always with me. Could lead to some pretty awkward misunderstandings. Like you have to go fill up Marie. You're right. Rescinded, completely forgotten. Bye bye. True, though. Wow, feels like we just finished a soccer game or something. Hey, I don't drive a soccer mom car. Percy laughed, waving as he led the way over from the library doors. After defending their beloved SUV, Cameron twisted around to check the back seats, making sure nothing was in the way before they hit the door button. As the door slid open, Percy strode up to give the Camobile a gentle pat on the side, leaning into the frame as if he were a used car salesman. Once the interior was visible, he whistled, tipping his head in a signal for Jamie and Elio to peer in as well. Sweet ride. Do you ever have trouble finding campus parking? All the time, but I can turn any compact parking spot into a normal one, if I really try. Sorry if we kept you guys waiting. Nah, we weren't waiting that long. Hop in. Okay, well... Rock, paper, scissors. What rules are we playing by? International rules, person's dilemma, rock and roll. No, those would take too long. Let's just go with regular. You know what to expect by now, and yet the three of them managed to deliver an even more convoluted rendition than last time. This game has such simple rules. Why do you take it this far? For our honor, duh. Catapult beats boulder. Okay, but Claymore beats catapult. Claymore, as in the sword or the anti-personal mine? The latter? You're only saying that because I played boulder. And then a catapult should be able to fling your claymore far away, no problem. I mean, if it was buried, okay. Yeah, I've got nothing, I lose either way. Without further ado, Jamie climbed into the middle seat next to you, settling in with cat-like satisfaction while his roommates headed for the back row. This car is so cute with the frog stuff. As seat belts clicked in a chorus, Cam started the engine and pulled out of the parking lot. Jaja's phone screen lit up from the passenger seat as she pulled up the playlist that she and Cam had put together. It was a jumble of whatever songs you each liked, and after Deja hit the shuffle button, a familiar track began playing from the stereo. A thin crackle preluded dreamy, filtered vocals, and as the harmonies seeped from the speakers, heads started to nod gently to the beat. Oh, I'm digging the horns on this. Are they horns? It's slower than I thought it was going to be, but that's not a bad thing. It does feel as though it is building to something. Carbs, I guess? Sure. Personally, your favorite genre to listen to was... I'm a K-pop person, so... But I also like pop. I do like R&B. I like a lot. I'll do rock and pop. Well, no. I'll just pick three. Okay. You had your interests, as Cam and Deja had theirs. Luckily for you, they seemed impartial to whatever was playing. The track currently playing wasn't one of your favorites, but maybe the next one would be. So, where is it that we're going? Extra fries! Extra fries! It's a vegan diner. Oh, I didn't know. But they got loads of great options. And they're probably the only joint around that fries their potatoes in sunflower oil. Jamie made a thoughtful sound, his own phone screen lighting up as he went to search the place up himself. After a beat, Percy leaned forward to look as well, his cheek pressing against the side of the seat as he squinted at the screen. What are you feeling? Something not fried, preferably. From a place called Extra Fries? Good luck. That salad doesn't look bad, though, unless you want a club. If we can ask them to go light on the mayonnaise, I'd be fine with that. Wait, they serve breakfast all day. How about waffles? Boy, do they have waffles. Boy, do they have waffles. Boy, do they have waffles. There's some sort of intonation that would make sense there, but Cameron's cheerful exclamation, let's go with a cheerful one, elicited a few laughs from around the car, and Deja glanced at Elio in the rear view mirror. Do you know what you want, or is this the same as what they're getting? I'll figure it out in a bit. They just usually split an order. Yeah, I'm his food taster. You know how many people have tried to poison this guy? 0 people have tried to poison me. Unless you count the time you got us all to eat month-old pasta. Ugh. Month? Month-old pasta, Percy. In my defense, I thought it was in the freezer for most of that month. Most of that month? So then, who got poisoned? Me, obviously. But Percy had it way worse. My punishment was swift and severe. I was fine, though. Honestly, sharing food at extra fries isn't a bad idea. The portions can be pretty generous. I mean, I wouldn't mind. I share most of my food anyway, but it's extra important in this case. Plus, you get to try more things if you're just passing everything around. Yep, we usually just get 3 different meals, then swap whatever we want to try. Sounds like the best case scenario for you, Jamie. Not that I need that much anyway. You're right. You eat like a bird, dude. But actually, have you decided what you think about American food yet? I'm still thinking. You've been thinking about it for literally as long as we've known you. You have a lot of food, and I have plenty to catch up on. Is there anything you do like so far? Some things here or there. It really depends. Credit to him. He tries all sorts of stuff. It's just, if he doesn't like it, he's not going to make himself finish it. You make me sound like a child. Yes, you're my little guy. Well, you can check off diner food off the list tonight. Get ready for some good old not home cooking with a bunch of fries on the side. Hear that? I don't think you're escaping the fried food anytime soon, man. This late at night's the perfect hour for it. Or we could get stuffed peppers. It's basically a tuna melt and a bell pepper. Or I guess it'd be fake tuna, but anyway, remember that sandwich place from a while ago? Looks like it's like that. Oh, perhaps not then. That's kind of surprising. You always seem to know what you want. Jamie glanced up from the phone in your direction, his typical neutral expression faltering for a beat as Percy continued to scroll through the menu. It's more that I know what I dislike. Makes it way easier to narrow down the options, at least. In the passing glimmer of a street, she glimpsed a touch of embarrassment coloring Jamie's cheeks. I was kind of meaning it more as like, it's fine if you don't know, especially if the menu's extensive. It's okay. I don't. You make me sound so picky. Oh, you're talking about that. Okay. I mean, there's nothing wrong with being particular. Knowing I won't enjoy something is valuable, isn't it? It's not a whim or hey, I know. It didn't mean anything by it. You can just say you like sharing food with me, though. I just explained that. Oh, you've both been insufferable. What? I didn't even do anything. Jamie slumped back with a defeated grumble, and you mouthed a silent check-in when you caught his eye. He nodded slightly, looking ever so slightly grumpy before he turned his eyes back to the menu. All right, well, you 3 are the experts. What's your go-to order? I do happen to like their stuffed peppers, or their grain bowls. You liked one of those salads, though, right? The chopped one? Yeah, but I'm more into the wedge salad right now. I started using this new vegan cheese, and it makes it way tastier. They're sofritas burritos. Super good. And they give you an avocado salsa for them. The paninis are solid options, too. There's also the regular, which would be... It's whatever Camilla and her boys tell us it is. You just give her an idea of what you're looking for, and she decides what your regular is. It's a little Russian roulette, but she's usually pretty accurate when it comes to finding something you like. I have a feeling I'll get along with whoever Camilla is. Oh, you've gotta. She won't feed you if you don't. The Camomile lurched gently to one side as Cameron turned, and as the yellow street lights flickered over the car one by one, Percy raised a question. By the way, why do these menu items all have such weird names? Weird? Weird like how? Like, here, this section calls them overhead pressed paninis. What's the overhead mean? A panini? Served overhead. A pie. This sundae has bananas in it, apparently. Or apparently that part's a typo. Oh, don't worry about that. They just like to have a little fun with the menu, that's all. The conversation hit a quiet spot, and as the boys focused on getting their orders figured out, he passed a short interlude by staring out the window, watching the few other cars that were out at this hour. One by one, they peeled off in different directions, headed to night shifts, maybe, or on their way home instead. Hey, I'm digging this track. What's it called? Keep It Moving. You like it? Yeah, it's dope. Mellow, too. Elio's head bobbed to the beat, managing to look enthusiastic even as the slower paced rhythm made him drum slower than usual on his knees. Yeah, that backbeat's nice. Where you can go half-time, focus on the front line. He trailed off not because he was distracted. Instead, as he focused more on the melody, he seemed to wiggle a little more in his seat, letting the rhythm take firmer hold. Deja's eyes glinted with amusement at the rear view as she glimpsed his movements. I've always considered it a pretty laid-back song. Is it that good for dancing? Ugh, it sure is. I can think of some simpler routines right away, but simple doesn't mean slow. I'll send it to you then. It's one of our favorites. Keep it moving, keep it moving. Thanks. And then I'll send it to you too, Perce. Sure. Another R&B fan? Oh, nah. Percy's playlist is just an all-consuming black hole. Look, the discover function exists for a reason, and by God will I be discovering. Yes, but why not organize your music, even a little? Because it's all music to me. Everything's fair game. Everything? No way. Even country. Everyone's gotta ask about country. Listen, it's not about trucks or patriotism. Fun songs are about stabbing adulterous husbands or about wheat fields. There's variety. I did like the one you showed me the other day, with the violin and the chorus. You too, Not really. I'm most familiar with Swedish pop, but it's not really my favorite. I'll usually listen to whatever Elio and Percy want to play at home. Okay, well, Percy listens to everything, but what does Elio listen to? Edgier songs. Really? I have layers too, Deja. Elio beamed, grinning from ear to ear as he shifted forward in his seat as though he needed to be heard. Mostly, my folks raised me on rock, but ES mixtapes, actual cassettes. But it's a lot of pop these days for practice, or hip-hop, or K-pop. K-pop? What groups do you like? Lots of the early ones from the 2010s. There's also that newer girl group that's been putting out some more nostalgic stuff. New Denim. Fuck, their latest single? Super high, super high, super high, super high. I know that song, too. Yeah, kind of like everything, too, except country and metal. Nothing against people who do like those, but I just can't. Right as the last few notes of the song played, a haze of pink and blue lights signaled your arrival at the Extra Fries parking lot. Here we are. The Campbellville rolled into a spot nearby the front windows, and as Cameron parked, you turned a coy look on the newcomers in the back. This is not merely someone having fun with the menu. It's a themed diner? It's so neon. With a chuckle, Cameron pressed the door button and the side door slid back to afford a full view of Extra Fries in all her brightly lit glory. Even this late, the retro mom and pop diner bustled with activity. A waiter passed by the window at a disconcerting speed, turning their head at the last second to wave as they recognized the car. Wait till we're inside. We've been saving the best info about this place the whole way over. The parking lot was quiet as you all filed out of the car and over to the doors. And now we're into the kitchen. Oh, but excuse me, I had to sneeze. Once you stepped in, though, you instantly heard the hum of neon as well as the persistent sizzle of food from the expansive kitchen. And unfortunately, that's where I'm going to have to leave it today. We'll have to save Extra Fries for the next video. Let me know how you're liking the video. I'm very excited to see what the diner is all about. And yeah, I have no idea how far into the story I am in, but I'm very excited to check it out. And let me know what your thoughts are. And I really like that we're building out the friendship group. Um, it's very fun. I like it, though I'm not happy to be around finals season, but it's okay. Anyways, if you like the video, please don't forget to press the like button and subscribe to my channel if you'd like to see more of Keyframes as well as other indie visual novels that I'd like to play. Thank you so much, and I will talk to you later. Bye!